welcoming you for the final part of my talk on memorization of Quran. In the previous parts, we discussed about the merits of Hifz Qur'an, and I gave some hints in relation with the Hifz, some practical hints. And as I had promised, in this part, we will deal with more elaboration on practical hints for doing Hifz of Quran. Select a day to begin with, preferably vacation or off day. Do ghusl, do qiyam al-layl. Select a fixed, separate, isolated, calm, quiet room if possible for you. If you are staying in a crowded room, okay, no problem. I hope that there will be no hindrance. But if it is possible for you, if you have extra room, it's better that you choose a separate, isolated, calm and quiet room for doing Hifz of Quran. Seek forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala seriously and sincerely. Astaghfirullah Rabbi min kulli zambi wa atubu ilayh. As many times. I advise 1000 times at least. Darud Ibrahim, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. As many times, I advise at least 1000 times. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri and Rabbi zidni ilma. As many times, I advise at least 1000 times. Do niyyah that you want to do Hifz Quran only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and not for any worldly gains or any popularity or anything. Do dua and ask for the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this noble cause. Select the Quran of your choice and make it fixed for the purpose of Hifz. It is not that you select one Quran here and then you change the Quran at some other place. No. Select the same type of Quran for doing Hifz. What do you mean by the same type of Quran? Actually, the verses of the Quran will be the same, but the writing style, font style will be different in different versions of Quran. I chose big lettered Asian version. It's called Pakistani Quran or Indian Quran. That is a big lettered Asian version. Kiss it and hold it to your heart and feel it for a long time. Feel the message of our Creator. Now open the text and just go through it from the first verse till the last verse with your index finger just running over it, running over the verses. Start from the first verse and just run over your index finger through the text of Quran till the last verse. This is fast reading without going to any details. It may take a few minutes. Here I assume that you have all the basic knowledge, especially those who are new to the spiritual path. I expect that they have completed Nurani Qaida, they know about rules of Tajweed, at least some basic information about Arabic language, the context of all 114 surah and 6,236 verses and sajda verses in Quran. If not, it is better that you have the idea about them first before you proceed for Hifz Quran. It may not take more time. Now, select the surah you want to do Hifz. Either you can begin from first surah and go schematically till the last surah, that is 114th surah, or you can select any surah of your choice. However, I advise you to start Hifz from those surah which have smaller verses. For example, Surah Abasa, Surah number 80, which has smaller 42 verses, which can be memorized quickly. Give yourself target of memorizing at least 100 verses daily. And choosing surah with smaller verses in the beginning helps you to achieve the target in surplus. and this boosts the confidence. The more you increase in the number of verses you memorize, the more it boosts your confidence. Today you will say 100 verses. After a few days 500, 1000, 2000, 3000. It gives a great feeling. You just suddenly look at yourself and feel, oh, mashallah, I have memorized 3000 verses of Quran. So this gives a great confidence for you, and it makes your journey easier for the completion of memorization of Quran completely. The more you come closer to the target of 6236 verses, the more happy you will be. So start with smaller verses and keep surah with longer verses at the end. Also, if any surah has long verse, then instead of stagnating there and losing your confidence, just skip it for later and move ahead. For example, one of my students told me that he has lost the confidence to do hifz and he may not continue. I asked him why. He replied, I have memorized 19 verses of Surah Al-Muzzammil, but 20th verse is very long and I am trying, but I am unable to memorize it. So I need to stop. I told him, brother, just skip it for later and move to the next surah. With this simple tip, not only did he memorize the next surah with smaller verses, but also he gained the confidence and he memorized the 20th verse of Surah Al-Muzzammil also. Hence, going ahead with determination is that what is most important. If you stagnate at one place and if you believe that no, now it is not possible, then you will stop. So just move ahead. If you find difficulty at some place, just stop there for a while, skip that verse and go to the next verse, go to the next surah. And then once you gain the confidence, come back to the place where you stagnated. Especially early morning hours. The most difficult verses you keep for early morning hours when you are very fresh. Your energy for memorization is very high. You keep to memorize the difficult verses in the early morning hours. Now, once you decide which surah you wish to do hifz, then play audio or video clip of that surah recited by Qari of your choice with the display of meaning of each verse. Now you have to choose, because there are many great Qaris, mashallah, and beautiful voice they have. And everybody has his own choice. Somebody will like some Qari, somebody will like some other Qari. So you choose, you select. My YouTube channel has published 114 surah beautifully recited by Qari Mishari Rashid Al-Afsi with display of verses with transliteration and translation. And because I personally love Qari Mishari Rashid, his beautiful recitation, you can choose any Qari of your choice. But if you want to get benefited from my YouTube channel, there are 114 surah beautifully recited by Qari Mishari Rashid Al-Afsi. And before starting hifz, you must know meaning of the verses and a brief tafsir that will ease your task of memorization. So you should know about the tafsir. Brief, don't go into details, otherwise you will be lost somewhere. Just a brief tafsir, why this surah is revealed, when it was revealed, what is the context. So just a brief tafsir. Otherwise, if you find the tafsir is going to be very lengthy for you, at least you know the meaning of the verses. And this task is made easy by my YouTube channel. You just listen to the audio, and at the same time there is display of the translation, there is display of meaning. You hear the surah once or more. You can hear once, you can hear twice, you can hear thrice. It differs from person to person until the meaning is clear to you with context and a brief tafsir. So the meaning is clear to you, then you stop hearing the surah and now you start memorizing that surah. You use your finger, preferably index finger or pencil, to roll over the verse. Now recite the first verse, maybe once, twice, thrice, 4 times, 5 times, up to 10 times. It depends on you until you are confident that you have memorized. Recite once, then you see whether you memorized it. If you memorized it good, then go to the next verse. Recite the next verse until you memorize. If you memorize that verse, then recite the first verse and the second verse together. Either once, twice, thrice, it is your choice. The same process you will continue. You will memorize first verse, then you go to the second verse. Recite until you memorize. Once you memorize, then recite 1 and 2 together, go to the third verse. Third verse, recite until you memorize. Once you memorize, recite 1, 2, 3 together. So you continue this process for a period of 30 minutes. The same process. Now, after you complete half an hour, you close the Quran and lie down with your back on the floor. Close your eyes and relax yourself, forgetting everything. This is what I have done. I am telling you my practical way how I did Hifz Qur'an. And this benefited me, so I am just giving my hands to you. This relaxation should be for approximately 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's your choice. It's not that you sleep there. No. You just relax down. Calm yourself. Calm your brain. With this short spell of relaxation for 5 to 10 minutes, you are refreshed again. Now you start again. And you recall the verses which you memorized and then continue in the same fashion. And this way, in a period of about half an hour, you can memorize from 5 to 10 verses. And if you continue in the same fashion, Alhamdulillah, in a day, you can memorize between 100 to 200 verses min fadlillah. Of course, it depends upon the memory of a person and the retention power. Everybody has different memory, but if you are focused, if you are determined, inshallah, there will be help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for sure. Once you memorize, then recite several times in prayers, and especially in Qiyam al-Layl. Also keep on repeating while doing all routine work, like when you are walking, when you go to the market, when you are driving your car, when you are doing any work, except going for washroom. And for all other work, you keep on reciting the verses. You audio record what you have memorized, and that audio recording you play, and you look into the text of Quran and you see what you have recited is correct or not. Cross check. This cross checking will also build your memory and ease your way of memorization. You can improve your voice for recitation by reciting along with the audios of Qari of your choice. Whichever qira'ah you like, you play that audio and you recite along with. And inshallah, by the time you will start reciting as the Qari is reciting. Maybe not 100%, but at least somewhere near to him. There are many things which facilitate the task of memorizing Quran. There are many things. What are those things? We have discussed all those things which we have discussed. I'm not going to repeat it again. I'm telling the new things. What are those? First, observe all fard. It is not that you are skipping salah, you are skipping the further thing, and you are expecting that you will memorize Quran. It is not possible. So observe all fard and sunnah. Don't skip any sunnah. And abstain from all haram things and sins. Because a sinner is so much burdened that it is not possible that he can memorize the Quran with ease. Abstain from all haram things. Start the task before sunrise, because it is the most energetic phase and it is the best time for memorizing Quran. So start the task before sunrise. You should take well-balanced diet. The diet should have everything. It should have good proportion of carbohydrate and proteins and healthy fat. Inclusion of some special foods. There are some special foods, because I am a cardiologist and a physician, so I can tell you which foods are beneficial for improving memory. Those are olive oil, all those which contain high amount of vitamin E, omega fatty acids. You can eat almonds, all the dry fruits, honey, raisins, dates, especially when you chew the raisins. This chewing process will stimulate your memory. Use the miswak Alhamdulillah, the sunnah of miswak has several benefits, including that of sharpening your memory. You should have plenty intake of plenty of vegetables and fruits. So you should have balanced diet, and the diet should be very rich in vitamins and all necessary elements. Be focused, sincere, serious, dedicated. Once you complete memorizing of some part, maybe you think that maybe some part of surah or maybe one surah, then recite it to a qari in person to see for any errors and correct them. If a steady schematic approach is maintained, then one can complete the memorization of whole Quran min fadlillah in approximately 2 months time, inshallah. Some may complete it even in 1 month or even less than that. Some may take more time, but time is not that crucial factor. Just you start and be focused, and inshallah there will be help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and definitely you will succeed in completing the memorization of whole Quran. May Allah accept us. May Allah bless us. May Allah make all of us Hifz Qur'an and followers of all His commandments in Quran. May Allah make all of us daya. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.